Welcome to Coins News Daily. Today we are exploring the most valuable Rare Lincoln Shield cent coins in the United States of America that collectors are desperately searching for. Some of these pennies look completely normal, but they could be worth thousands of dollars. Make sure you watch this video until the end because one of these coins might already be hiding in your pocket. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Coins News Daily. Speech balloon comment below if you have ever found a rare coin. Thanks with love for watching. Red Heart. Coin 1. Today we are talking about one of the most fascinating modern pennies in circulation. The United States of America Lincoln Shield cent from the year 2015 with no mint mark. At first glance it may look like any other penny you might find in your change. Many people would spend it without a second thought. But experienced collectors know that certain details, tiny differences, and rare minting errors can transform this ordinary coin into something far more valuable. So if you are a coin lover, a collector, or someone curious about hidden treasures in everyday money, listen very carefully. Because by the end of this video, you might start looking at every penny in your pocket a little differently. The Lincoln cent has a long and powerful story in American coin history. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. Since then, it has gone through several design changes. For decades, the reverse design featured wheat stalks, which collectors now call the wheat penny. Later, the Lincoln Memorial design replaced it in 1959. And then, in 2010, a brand new design was introduced. This new design is known as the Lincoln Shield cent. On the reverse side of the coin, you can see a strong Union shield. The shield represents unity and strength of the United States. Across the shield is a banner with the national motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. The design symbolizes the unity of the states under one nation. By 2015, billions of these coins had already been produced. The United States Mint struck Lincoln Shield cents at multiple facilities. Coins with a D mint mark were produced in Denver, while coins without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia. The 2015 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark came from the Philadelphia Mint. Now here is where things begin to get interesting, because although millions of these coins were produced, certain examples stand out due to striking errors, die varieties, and rare minting issues. These are the details that collectors search for. These are the tiny secrets that can hide in plain sight. When collectors examine a 2015 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark, they carefully inspect the coin under magnification. They look at Lincoln's portrait on the front. They study the letters in Liberty. They check the date. They inspect the shield lines on the reverse. Even the smallest irregularity can make a big difference. One of the most talked about possibilities for this coin is the double die effect. A double die occurs when the coin die receives a slightly misaligned impression during its creation. This can cause certain letters or numbers to appear doubled when the coin is struck. On some rare examples, collectors have reported slight doubling around the lettering and design details. Another area collectors inspect carefully is the motto "In God We Trust." If you ever find a coin where the letters appear thick, split, or shadowed, it may indicate a doubling variety. These are the types of coins that collectors immediately set aside for closer inspection, but doubling is not the only error that makes these coins exciting. Another rare possibility is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned inside the striking chamber during minting. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing and the rest is shifted to one side. Depending on how dramatic the off-center strike is, collectors may consider it highly desirable. Then there are die cracks and die chips. Over time, the dies used to strike coins begin to wear down from the pressure of repeated strikes. Sometimes small cracks develop in the die surface. When this happens, raised lines appear on the coins produced afterward. These lines can run through the design or along the shield. Some collectors love finding dramatic die cracks because they tell a story about the life of the die itself. Each crack forms gradually as the die ages, meaning every coin struck afterward carries that same feature. Another fascinating error that sometimes appears on modern pennies is the cut error. This occurs when a portion of the die actually breaks away. When that happens, a blob of extra metal appears on the edge of the coin where the missing die piece once was. These cut errors are rare and often attract serious attention from collectors. The 2015 Lincoln Shield cent also has another feature that makes collectors curious. The shield design contains many fine vertical lines. If the die becomes slightly misaligned or worn, those lines can appear uneven, distorted, or partially missing. Collectors study these details carefully because unusual shield line patterns can indicate a rare die variety. Condition also plays a huge role in determining the value of any coin. Most pennies in circulation quickly become scratched, worn, or discolored. But occasionally, a coin remains in pristine condition. These are called mint state coins. A 2015 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark that still shines with its original luster and has no visible wear is far more desirable than a heavily circulated example. Collectors often grade coins using a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded 65 or higher is considered a high-quality mint state coin. These pieces often come directly from original mint rolls or carefully preserved collections. Sometimes collectors submit these coins to professional grading companies. Experts then examine the coin under powerful microscopes, verify its authenticity, and assign it an official grade. Once sealed in a protective holder, the coin becomes easier to sell at auction, but the real excitement begins when a rare error and a high-grade condition appear together on the same coin. Imagine finding a 2015 Lincoln Shield cent in brilliant mint condition, with a clear doubling error or a strong off-center strike. That combination instantly transforms a 1-cent coin into a collectible treasure, and this is exactly why coin collectors constantly search through rolls of pennies from banks. They carefully examine every coin under bright light, hoping to discover one special piece hidden among thousands of ordinary coins. What makes coin collecting so exciting is that anyone can participate. You do not need expensive equipment to start. All it takes is curiosity, patience, and a careful eye. Every coin tells a story. Some coins witnessed historic events. Others traveled across the country in everyday transactions. And a few rare coins carry minting mistakes that make them unique among millions. The 2015 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark represents a modern chapter in this long tradition of American coinage. It reminds collectors that valuable discoveries are not limited to ancient coins or rare gold pieces. Even modern pennies can surprise you. So the next time you receive change at a store, do not ignore those small copper coins. Take a closer look. Check the date. Examine the design. You might discover a rare variety that others have overlooked, because hidden treasures often appear where we least expect them. And now, let us talk about the real market value that collectors pay for this coin today. A normal circulated 2015 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark is usually worth about 1 to 5 cents in the collector market. A bright uncirculated example in high mint state condition can sell for around $3 to $10 depending on quality, but coins showing strong mint errors such as double die varieties, off-center strikes, or dramatic die cracks have sold between $50 and $300 depending on the rarity and condition, and exceptional examples with major visible errors in certified mint state condition have reached auction prices of around $500. That is the fascinating journey of a tiny coin that most people would never look at twice. Yet for collectors, the 2015 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark remains a modern treasure waiting to be discovered. Coin 2. We are going to explore a coin that many people have seen, many people have spent without thinking, and many people might still have hiding in their pockets, jars, drawers, or piggy banks. But what if I told you that one simple penny from the United States could be worth far more than 1 cent? What if that small copper-colored coin could hold a surprising story of rarity, minting mistakes, and collector excitement? In this video we are talking about the United States of America Lincoln Shield cent with the 2016 D mint mark, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance but can become extremely interesting when certain rare varieties and errors appear. The Lincoln cent is one of the most recognized coins in the entire world. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Since that time the coin has gone through several design changes, but the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front has remained a constant symbol of American history and culture. In 2010 the reverse design of the Lincoln cent changed again, introducing the Lincoln Shield design. This design represents Lincoln's role in preserving the unity of the United States. The shield symbolizes strength and national unity, while the 13 vertical stripes represent the original 13 states. Across the shield is a horizontal banner with the words 1 cent. Now fast forward to the year 2016. Millions upon millions of Lincoln Shield cents were produced by the United States Mint. Among them were coins produced at the Denver Mint, which carry the small but important letter D just below the year on the front of the coin. This tiny mint mark tells collectors where the coin was produced. At first glance the 2016 D Lincoln Shield cent might appear extremely common. After all, hundreds of millions of them were minted. Most examples are only worth their face value of 1 cent. However, in the fascinating world of coin collecting, value is not always about how many coins were produced. Sometimes value comes from rarity created by mint errors, unusual die varieties, or exceptional coin condition. Collectors around the world constantly search through rolls of pennies hoping to find something special. And occasionally, a 2016 D Lincoln Shield cent appears with features that make collectors stop and look twice. One of the most exciting things collectors look for is a double die error. This happens when the coin die receives a misaligned impression during its creation. When this occurs, certain letters, numbers, or design elements appear slightly doubled on the finished coin. On a double die coin the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or even the date can show clear doubling when viewed closely under magnification. A genuine double die Lincoln cent is highly desirable because the error originates from the die itself, meaning every coin struck from that die will show the same doubling. When collectors discover such a variety, it becomes part of coin collecting history. Another fascinating error that can occur on the 2016 D Lincoln Shield cent is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly centered between the dies during the striking process. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing and the blank metal surface is visible on one side. Off-center coins are dramatic and easy to notice, which is why collectors love them. Even more interesting are coins struck on the wrong planchet. A planchet is the blank metal disc used to create a coin. Sometimes, by mistake, a coin can be struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a foreign coin. Imagine finding a 2016 D Lincoln cent struck on a smaller or larger metal blank. These unusual mistakes instantly attract the attention of collectors and auction houses. Another error that fascinates collectors is the die crack or cud. Over time coin dies experience tremendous pressure as they strike thousands of coins. Eventually small cracks can form in the die. When this happens the coins struck afterward show raised lines or blobs of metal where the crack occurred. Some collectors specialize in collecting these die varieties because each one tells a story about the life of the minting equipment. The 2016 D Lincoln Shield cent can also appear with a rotated die error. Normally when you flip a coin vertically, both sides appear upright. But if the die was slightly rotated during installation, the back of the coin may appear tilted when flipped. While minor rotations are common, large rotations are rare and desirable. Condition also plays a major role in coin value. Many coins circulate for years, becoming scratched, worn, or damaged. But occasionally a coin survives in nearly perfect condition. These coins are graded by professional grading companies and given a numerical score. Coins graded at the highest levels, especially those described as mint state 67 or higher, can be extremely difficult to find. A 2016 D Lincoln Shield cent in perfect mint state condition with brilliant original surfaces, sharp details, and strong luster can attract serious attention from collectors who want the finest examples for their collections. Another detail that collectors inspect carefully is the mint mark itself. On rare occasions the mint mark can appear filled, repunched, or slightly misaligned due to die polishing or minting irregularities. These subtle differences can create collectible varieties that specialists search for when examining coins under magnification. The thrill of coin collecting often comes from the possibility that a valuable coin might be hiding in everyday change. People search through bank rolls, coin jars, and even loose change from stores hoping to discover a rare error coin that others overlooked. The 2016 Lincoln Shield cent reminds us that even modern coins can become collectible treasures. It proves that rarity is not always about age. Sometimes rarity is created by unexpected minting events that transform an ordinary coin into a fascinating piece of history. Collectors often say that every coin has a story. The story of the 2016 Lincoln Shield cent includes the powerful symbol of Lincoln's legacy, the modern technology of the United States Mint, and the unpredictable minting errors that make coin collecting exciting. So the next time you receive a penny in change, take a closer look before you spend it. Check the date carefully. Look for the tiny D mint mark. Examine the letters, the numbers, and the shield design. Because somewhere out there, hidden among millions of ordinary coins, a rare variety might still be waiting to be discovered. Now let us talk about the real market value and auction value that collectors have paid for these coins. A normal circulated 2016 Lincoln Shield cent is worth 1 cent. A brilliant uncirculated example from a bankroll can sell for about $1 to $3 among collectors. High-grade certified coins graded mint state 67 have sold for around $50. Rare mint error examples such as strong double die varieties, major off-center strikes, or wrong planchet errors have reached auction prices between $200 and $1,000 depending on the severity of the error and overall condition, and that is why coin collectors always say never ignore the penny, because sometimes the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Coin 3. We are diving into a fascinating coin that many people overlook in their everyday pocket change, yet collectors across the United States carefully search for it every day. This is the 2017 Lincoln Shield cent with the P mint mark. At first glance it looks like an ordinary penny, but the story behind this coin, the history it represents, and the rare error varieties that can appear on it make it one of the most exciting modern coins collectors love to hunt. Before 2017, pennies produced in Philadelphia never carried a mint mark. For more than 200 years the Philadelphia Mint struck billions of coins without placing the letter P on them. But in 2017 something very special happened. To celebrate the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint, the Philadelphia Mint released pennies with the P mint mark for the first time in history. That means every 2017 Lincoln Shield cent with the tiny P under the year represents a historic moment in American coinage. Even though millions were made, the coin instantly became special to collectors because it broke a tradition that lasted for centuries. Take a close look at the front of the coin. You will see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The design was originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. It has remained one of the longest-running designs in American coin history. Above Lincoln's head you will see the word Liberty. On the right side of the coin appears the phrase "In God We Trust." Just below the date 2017 you will notice the small but very important letter P. That single letter changed the history of the penny forever. Now flip the coin to the back. Since 2010 the reverse design shows the Union Shield. This shield represents the strength and unity of the United States. 13 vertical stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the horizontal bar across the top symbolizes the federal government holding the country together. Across the shield you will see a banner that reads 1 cent. Above the design the words United States of America appear, while the national motto E pluribus unum is placed at the top. At this point you might be wondering something very important. If millions of these coins were produced, how can one possibly become valuable? The answer lies in condition, rarity within circulation, and most importantly mint errors. Most people spend pennies without looking closely at them. But coin collectors know that sometimes a tiny mistake at the mint can transform an ordinary 1-cent coin into a collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One of the most interesting possibilities with the 2017 P Lincoln cent is the double die error. A double die occurs during the die creation process when the design is impressed more than once at slightly different angles. This causes parts of the design to appear doubled when the coin is struck. On a double die penny, collectors may notice doubling in the letters of Liberty, the date 2017, or even in the motto In God We Trust. When the doubling is strong and clear, these coins can become extremely desirable. another exciting error collectors search for is the off-center strike. During the minting process, the blank coin planchet must be perfectly centered between the dies. If it shifts during the strike, the design will appear partially missing on one side. Off-center coins are dramatic and easy to recognize. A 2017 penny struck 20% or 30% off-center with the date still visible can attract serious interest from collectors. Then there are clipped planchet errors. This happens before the coin is even struck. The metal sheet used to punch out blank sometimes overlaps during the cutting process, leaving a curved piece missing from the edge of the coin. When that blank is struck with the design, the coin ends up with a smooth curved clip. Another error collectors enjoy finding is a die crack or cud. Dies experience incredible pressure during coin production. Over time, small cracks can form on the surface of the die. When the die continues striking coins, these cracks appear as raised lines on the finished coins. In more dramatic cases, a piece of the die can actually break away. When that happens, a blob of extra metal appears on the coin, often along the rim. Collectors call this a cud error. There are also fascinating strike-through errors. These occur when a small object such as grease, debris, or metal shavings comes between the die and the coin blank. When the coin is struck, the foreign material blocks part of the design, leaving unusual marks or missing details. Modern pennies are made mostly from zinc with a thin copper coating. Because of this composition, another interesting variety sometimes appears called plating blister errors. These look like tiny bubbles or raised areas on the surface where the copper plating did not bond perfectly with the zinc core. Although some plating blisters are minor, dramatic examples can still capture the attention of collectors. Now imagine finding a 2017 Lincoln Shield cent in nearly perfect condition. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from heavily worn to mint state condition. A penny that has never circulated and shows no wear under magnification can receive a very high grade from professional grading services. High-grade modern coins can sometimes be surprisingly rare because most coins go directly into circulation and pick up scratches, marks, and dull surfaces. When a 2017 penny survives in superb mint state condition with bright luster and sharp details, collectors begin to compete for it. Another factor that makes a coin valuable is population rarity. Even if millions of coins exist, only a small number may survive in the highest grades. That scarcity drives demand among collectors, building top registry sets. Many collectors also save this coin simply because of its historical importance. It represents the only year when the Philadelphia Mint placed the P Mint mark on the Lincoln cent for the anniversary celebration. Imagine searching through rolls of pennies and suddenly spotting that small letter P beneath the date. For coin hunters, that moment is incredibly exciting because it connects them to a unique chapter in the story of American money. Coin roll hunters across the country still search bank rolls hoping to discover rare varieties, error coins, or high-grade examples that others have overlooked. Sometimes the most valuable coins are hiding in the most ordinary places. A forgotten jar of pennies, a piggy bank, or a roll from the bank could contain a coin worth far more than its face value. That is why experienced collectors always say never ignore the penny. Even in the modern era, rare treasures can still appear in circulation. Now let us talk about real market values collectors have seen for the 2017 Lincoln Shield cent. Most circulated examples are still worth only 1 cent because they are common in everyday use. However, uncirculated examples with strong luster are often collected and may sell for a few dollars among collectors. When the coin reaches very high mint state grades certified by professional grading services, auction results have shown prices reaching around $100 depending on eye appeal and condition. Error coins bring even more excitement to the market. Dramatic off-center strikes, strong double die varieties, or major mint errors from 2017 Lincoln cents have sold in auctions for several $100s. In rare cases, when a spectacular mint error or an exceptionally high-grade example appears in the collector market, auction prices have reached over $1,000. So the next time you receive a penny in your change, take a moment to look closely at the date and the mint mark. That tiny letter P could represent one of the most interesting modern pennies ever produced by the United States Mint. For coin collectors, the thrill of discovery is always just one coin away. And sometimes the smallest coin in your pocket can hold the biggest surprise. Coin 4. We are diving into a coin that most people have seen, most people have spent, and almost everyone ignores. But what if I told you that one small penny from 2018 could make collectors stop, stare, and sometimes even pay far more than you would expect for a single cent? Yes, today we are talking about the 2018 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark, a modern coin that may look ordinary at first glance but hides fascinating details, minting secrets, and rare error possibilities that excite collectors around the world. Take a moment and imagine this. You open your pocket, your coin jar, or maybe the change from a grocery store. Among those common pennies sits a 2018 Lincoln cent. Most people would toss it aside without a second thought. But experienced collectors know something different. They know that modern coins sometimes carry hidden varieties, rare errors, and unique characteristics that can turn a simple penny into a collectible treasure. The Lincoln Shield cent design began in 2010, replacing the earlier Lincoln Memorial reverse that had been used for decades. The new design shows a bold shield on the back of the coin, representing President Abraham Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single unified nation. The shield is powerful and symbolic. Across the top of the shield runs a banner with the words E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. On the shield itself you see 13 vertical stripes representing the original 13 colonies, while the horizontal bar symbolizes the strength that holds the Union together. Now turn the coin over to the front. You will see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln that has appeared on the penny since 1909. This portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it remains one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world. Under the date on many Lincoln cents you may see a small mint mark such as D or S. But when there is no mint mark at all, the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint has produced coins for centuries and historically did not place mint marks on most coins for circulation. That is why the 2018 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. Millions upon millions of these coins were produced. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint struck billions of Lincoln cents in 2018. Because of this massive production, most 2018 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent in circulation. But collectors are not just looking at how many coins were made. They look at condition, strike quality, and most importantly, mint errors, and this is where things get exciting. During the coin minting process, massive machines strike blank metal planchets with tremendous pressure using engraved dies. These dies press the design onto the coin in a fraction of a second. But when billions of coins are being produced every year, small mistakes can happen. Sometimes the metal shifts. Sometimes the die becomes damaged. Sometimes the planchet itself has problems before it is struck. Each of these mistakes can create an error coin. And error coins are some of the most exciting discoveries for collectors. One possible error collectors search for in 2018 Lincoln Shield cents is a double die. A double die occurs during the die creation process when the design is impressed onto the die more than once but slightly misaligned. This causes parts of the design, such as letters or numbers, to appear doubled on the finished coin. If a clear double die variety is discovered on a 2018 penny, collectors pay close attention. Another fascinating error involves die cracks or cuds. Over time, the intense pressure used in coin striking can cause small cracks to form in the die. When metal flows into those cracks during the strike, raised lines appear on the finished coin. Some collectors enjoy these dramatic features because they show the life cycle of the die itself. There are also off-center strikes. Imagine the blank coin planchet entering the striking chamber slightly misaligned. When the dies strike it, only part of the design appears on the coin. The rest may be blank. The more dramatic the off-center strike while still showing the date, the more collectors become interested. Another error that attracts attention is a clipped planchet. This happens when the metal strip used to create coin blanks overlaps slightly when the blanks are punched out. The result is a coin with a curved missing section along its edge. Even though the coin still shows the 2018 date and Lincoln design, the unusual shape makes it collectible. Collectors also watch for die chips around letters or in the shield design. These small raised bumps form when tiny pieces of the die break away. While some are minor, others create noticeable blobs that stand out clearly. Condition is another extremely important factor. A 2018 Lincoln Shield cent that has circulated through thousands of hands will show scratches, wear, and dull color. But a coin that remains in uncirculated condition can still have bright original luster. When collectors examine such coins under magnification, they look for flawless surfaces and strong strike details. High-grade coins are graded by professional services using a scale that ranges from poor all the way to mint state. A coin graded mint state 65 or higher begins to attract serious attention among modern coin collectors. Coins graded even higher become much harder to find because they must be nearly perfect. Another detail collectors love about modern pennies is the copper color. Although modern cents are mostly zinc with a thin copper plating, freshly struck coins still shine with a warm red tone. Over time that color changes to red-brown and eventually brown. Coins that keep their full red color are much more desirable. Now here is something interesting. Many collectors search rolls of pennies from banks hoping to find high-grade coins or unusual errors. This activity is known as coin roll hunting. A collector might search thousands of pennies looking for that one special coin that stands out from the rest. Imagine the excitement of discovering a dramatic error coin in an ordinary roll of change. That moment is what keeps collectors searching year after year. The 2018 Lincoln Shield cent without a mint mark may not sound rare at first because so many were produced in Philadelphia. But when you combine a modern date with a strong strike, perfect surfaces, and possibly a rare mint error, the coin becomes much more interesting to collectors. Some collectors build complete date sets of Lincoln Shield cents. Others focus specifically on error varieties. And some simply enjoy the thrill of the hunt, examining each coin carefully under bright light and magnification. It is amazing how much history and craftsmanship can exist inside a coin that most people consider insignificant. The Lincoln cent has been part of American life for more than a century. Through wars, economic changes, and technological progress, the small penny has remained a constant symbol of everyday commerce, and even today, new collectors are discovering that modern coins can still surprise us. A normal circulated 2018 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark is usually worth 1 cent. An uncirculated example with strong luster may sell to collectors for around $1 to $3. High-grade certified examples graded around mint state 67 have sold for around $20 to $30. But dramatic mint error examples such as strong off-center strikes or major double die varieties have reached auction prices ranging from about $100 to several $100s depending on the error and condition. So the next time you receive a handful of change, take a closer look at those pennies. One small coin might hold more interest than you ever imagined. And who knows, that ordinary-looking 2018 Lincoln Shield cent without a mint mark could become the next exciting discovery in your collection. Coin 5. We are going to explore a coin that almost everyone has seen in their pocket, yet very few people realize that it can sometimes be worth far more than 1 cent. Imagine holding a simple modern penny, a coin most people ignore or even throw into jars, but that same coin could quietly carry hidden value for collectors. The coin we are talking about today is the United States Lincoln Shield cent from the year 2019 with no mint mark. At first glance it looks ordinary, but the deeper you look, the more interesting details you will discover. The Lincoln cent is one of the most famous coins in American history. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first circulating United States coin to feature a real historical figure. For more than a century the design has evolved, but the spirit of the coin has always remained the same. In 2010, the reverse design changed to the modern Union Shield design, which is why collectors call these coins Lincoln Shield cents. When you look closely at a 2019 Lincoln Shield cent, the front of the coin shows the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. This portrait was originally designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner and has remained a symbol of American coinage for generations. Above Lincoln's head you will see the word liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" appears at the top of the coin. The date 2019 sits clearly in front of Lincoln's chest. Now here is where things start to get interesting. Many collectors search specifically for the 2019 Lincoln cent that has no mint mark. A mint mark is a small letter that shows where the coin was produced. In the United States, pennies can be made at several mint facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Denver usually carry the letter D, while coins from San Francisco have the letter S. However, coins produced in Philadelphia traditionally carry no mint mark at all. So when we say a 2019 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark, it usually means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. But even though millions of coins were struck there, not all coins are equal in the eyes of collectors. The real excitement begins when a coin shows unusual features, striking errors, or exceptional condition. Let us turn the coin over and look at the reverse design. The back of the coin features a bold Union shield with 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies of the United States. Across the top runs a horizontal bar symbolizing Congress uniting the states. Above the shield you will see the words United States of America, and below it the denomination 1 cent. This design is simple but powerful, representing unity and strength. For collectors, the sharpness of the shield lines, the clarity of the lettering, and the brilliance of the copper color can make a huge difference in value. Now let's talk about the types of details that can make a 2019 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark truly special. Point 1. Of the most fascinating things collectors search for is mint errors. A mint error occurs when something unusual happens during the production of the coin at the mint. These mistakes can transform an ordinary coin into a rare collectible. Point 1 example is a double die error. This happens when the design of the coin is accidentally stamped twice in slightly different positions during the die creation process. When this occurs, collectors may notice doubling in the letters, numbers, or design elements. On a 2019 penny, doubling might appear in the date, the word Liberty, or even the shield details on the reverse. Another type of error collectors watch for is an off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin planchet is not properly aligned in the press when the design is struck. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing and the rest appears shifted to one side. Off-center coins can be dramatic and are highly collectible depending on how far off-center the strike is. There are also coins struck on the wrong planchet. This is when a penny design is accidentally struck on a metal blank intended for a different denomination. These mistakes are rare but extremely exciting for collectors because they represent a moment when the minting process went unexpectedly wrong. Collectors also carefully examine the surfaces of 2019 Lincoln Shield cents for die cracks, die chips, and other small but fascinating imperfections. A die crack appears as a raised line across the surface of the coin, created when the die used to strike coins begins to crack from heavy use. Over time, these cracks can grow larger and create unique patterns. Another interesting feature is the presence of die chips, sometimes called cut errors. These appear as raised lumps of metal on the coin where part of the die has broken away. Each of these variations can turn an ordinary coin into something unique. Condition is another factor that greatly affects the value of a coin. A coin that has circulated in everyday use often shows wear, scratches, and dull surfaces. But coins that remain in uncirculated condition can appear bright, shiny, and sharply detailed. Collectors use grading systems to describe coin condition. Coins in the highest grades display strong luster, crisp details, and almost no marks. A 2019 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark in pristine condition can attract serious attention from collectors who want the finest examples for their collections. Some collectors also search through rolls of pennies from banks hoping to find exceptional coins hidden among ordinary circulation pieces. This hobby is known as coin roll hunting, and it has become extremely popular because modern coins like the 2019 Lincoln Shield cent are still widely available. Imagine the excitement of searching through a roll of pennies and suddenly noticing something unusual. Perhaps the shield lines look slightly doubled, or the coin appears brighter than the rest. Moments like this are what make coin collecting so exciting. Another reason collectors enjoy the 2019 Lincoln Shield cent is that it represents a modern piece of American history. Each coin was produced during a specific year, reflecting the economic and cultural moment of that time. Even modern coins carry stories about how they were made and how they traveled through circulation. Some collectors keep these coins in albums organized by year and mint mark. Others prefer to collect only the best examples they can find, focusing on coins with the strongest strike and most beautiful surfaces. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors searching, examining coins under magnification, comparing details, and learning more about the minting process. Even a small penny can reveal a world of history, craftsmanship, and discovery. So the next time you see a penny dated 2019 with no mint mark, do not dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look. Check the lettering. Examine the shield. Look for doubling, unusual marks, or anything that appears different from the ordinary, because sometimes the smallest coin can carry the biggest surprise. Now let us talk about the value collectors are most curious about. A normal circulated 2019 Lincoln Shield cent with no mint mark is typically worth about 1 cent, the same as its face value. However, an uncirculated example with strong luster can sell to collectors for around 50 cents to $2 depending on its condition. Coins with interesting mint errors such as noticeable doubling or off-center strikes can sell for $20, $50, or sometimes more depending on the strength of the error. Exceptional high-grade examples graded by professional grading services have reached auction prices around $100 to $200 when collectors compete for the finest known pieces. And rare dramatic mint error examples discovered by collectors have sold at specialized coin auctions for several $100s, making a simple penny one of the most surprising treasures in modern coin collecting. So keep looking through your change carefully, because the next valuable coin might already be sitting quietly in your pocket.